Hey there. It's Tuesday, December 16th, and I put some new life into this wiring harness. Um, Hope this works out okay. Yeah, it's a little long, so we are gonna have to fold it. It does fold. This does have a short enough bend radius I could fold it over. I just have to figure out how exactly do I want to do this. So originally, wires ran through this little space right here and were zip tied. But I think I want to do this a little differently. I think what I want to do, well, this is a bolt here. Let me think about this. Well, I ripped the grommet trying to put it back in. It wasn't going to stay anyway. This was actually kind of a shortcoming on the original design of the Dolly. These wires were hanging down. So I think I'm going to try, because originally it was routed to go below the bolt. I think I'm going to go above the bolt and see how that performs. It'll be easier to assemble, and then the plugs will be all within inside the tube here and remain, rather than fall out the back like they did last time. Let's give it a try. All right, well, I was wrong about that. There's no way I can go over the bolt. It's got to go under the bolt. And this little cavity here is too small to put this through easily without like folding back the little one, feeding it through and all that good stuff. So we're going this way. Yeah, I think I need to flip this over so the split is on the bottom now, so it doesn't just like open up where the bolt is. Well, I sure wish I would have checked this before I painted. These angle braces are kind of whacked, and that would explain why that weld was cracked, I think. Let me show you what I mean. So I got, that's like way nicer than what I had before. And so that's like parallel with that, right? It's just like no way that's gonna fit. It's not only is it leaning out, it's twisted. I don't know if that's showing up. That's the better of the two. This one actually fits good enough. I think I could tighten the bolts up and it'll pull it in. At least it's not twisted. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I have to figure this out. It's just like so way out of whack. Man, that's pretty messed up. I mean, this one here is at least close. I don't know if that's showing up, but that's like way twisted. where like it's like a quarter of an inch. Closed. All right, we used the heat wrench on it, and I twisted it, and then I had to straighten it, and it's almost perfect. We're gonna let that thing cool off, and then we gotta paint it. All right, tongue came out great. You almost can't even see where I touched up the paint over there. And got the toe chains on. I upgraded to 1/2" grade 8 bolts because I happen to have them right there. And what else did I do here? Oh, I squeezed the links so they wouldn't be so wide and bend the washers when you tighten it. We're getting ready to put these pads on, and I'm gonna kind of pull a slick one here. I've got some latex caulking here. It's brown. It's the only color sitting on the shelf there. I'm going to put a small bead around the perimeter of this because these guys here were rusty when I disassembled everything. And I guess, you know, moisture got up underneath, which with this paint and the fact that it's been Oscoed and everything, I don't think it'll ever rust again. And if it ever did, not my lifetime. But this stuff is not going to stick to very well to this, and also I have not really cleaned it either. But I think it'll act like a gasket just around the perimeter. I guess I'll go around the screw holes too. And then we're going to tighten up our fasteners. One of them I stripped out when I was taking it apart, so I cut a groove in it so it'll be like a regular slot screw. And so here we go. All right, got some Loctite on there. How about that? I guess I'll put some Loctite inside the nut too. It's a self-locking nut, but since it's been used, you know. Oh, this feels great, man. So I just got off the phone with the Master Toe folks, and it just started to bug me. There's no torque per se on that big old bolt right there. Their spec is that there should be moderate resistance to rotate the pan, and I guess that might be a little bit too tight actually. Yeah, it moves. So I'm just going to leave it there because it's going to loosen up a little bit. And also the Teflon pads, they recommend no lubrication on them at all. Hey there, it's Wednesday, December 17th. And I just sprayed the fenders. It came out real nice. So the Sherwin-Williams directions: 8 parts paint, 1 part hardener, but twice the amount of reducer, and I'm using acetone. I don't know why. Every time I've used this stuff, it always takes twice the amount of reducer in order for the paint to be thin enough to flow. But it's really sharp, man. It ain't perfect, you know. But it's perfect enough for a tow dolly. I mean, look at that thing. And then we've got the sheet metal pieces right here. Inboard and inboard, yeah, okay. All right, so I'm gonna clean my gun and wait for this to set up. But anyway, I cleaned up my lights with degreaser and a brush. And then I took the light bezels for those 4 lights here. And I sprayed them with the adhesion promoter, and then my primer. That's my favorite primer I use right there. That's self-etching Rust-Oleum. I love this stuff. It really works great.
I mean, it's for metal, but it's got a nice build to it, so it kind of smooths things out. And I got my stickers put on. Yeah, dang it, I got that one just a little bit crooked, kind of ticked me off, but it's stuck, man. And I put these no slip strips here on the edge, so maybe that'll help. Maybe it's a waste of time, but you know, we got those done. And then up at the front, we've got the orange stickers, amber, whatever you want to call it. And then the ID sticker that Master Toast sent me. It was over here originally, and it was pretty aided from the sun, so I thought putting it on the side might be a better choice. And then that's the other half of the sticker. Those guys are great, man. They really are a customer-oriented company. Thursday, December 18th, and we're going together, and that's great. So here's the skinny on it. We've got to put washers between the bracket and this bracket, these two brackets, to make way for the weld. That's right here, the other side of that. Then we got to put washers on this side to make way for the weld here, so there's no, you know, this aluminum will sit flat. And then we put the fender, and then we put the other aluminum piece. And there's not enough threads left to put another washer. So, I mean, if I took the washers, I took these washers off, it'll just bend that. Now let's try that and see what happens. Then there'll be room for washers, because we kind of really do need the washers on top of that painted one. Let's see, how bad does that sit? I say we go with it. Hold my beer. Little things like identifying your stuff here left and right and using Ziploc bags. Man, it sure does make it a lot easier when you're putting it back together. This is not in the greatest condition. I've got silicone grease smeared all over that, and down in the holes down there. Hopefully we're going to make a good connection. I'd hate to have to monkey with that now. So if you're wondering if I would have used the floor jack on the bottom of the trailer and scratched up my new paint job, no. That's a rubber block right there. It's like a hockey puck kind of a thing. And it's got a split in it. It's actually made for jacking up your car on the body seam, so you won't scratch the paint off of that. I am calling this job done, and it looks great. I'm very happy. I'm okay with the black. I got all my stickers on. It didn't originally come with these on the back here, but I had 6 stickers came in the package, so I used them all. Fenders are nice and solid now. Yeah, man, very happy. Can't wait to hit the road. So I got a couple more things to do yet, but I'm not gonna do it right away. I'm gonna put some new tires on it. These don't look like they're used hardly, but they're a couple years old. And I'm gonna put some new ones on it. I've got galvanized wheels. I'm gonna replace these rusting steel ones with metal valve stems. And the safety chains, I got to get new hooks. The little snap clips for the hooks are shot, so it's about $4 or $5 to buy the snap clips, or like $6 or $7 to buy a whole new hook. So we're just going to buy some new hooks. How about that, huh?